Arhibau, sajam kulture građenja i održivog razvoja. Obiđite relevantne izlagače iz graditeljskog sektora te sudjelujte na konferenciji o izazovima oporavka i otpornosti. Arena Zagreb od 5. do 8. listopada. Više informacija na ArhiBau.hr.
Hello, we are joined by Jos Duchamps from the International Facility Management Association. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Well, maybe we should start off with defining the basic principles of facility management.
Yeah, actually facility management is a profession that was founded in the 80s of last century in the US. And today facility management is all over the place, and it's evolved to actually a profession connected to the processes in the organization, where we try to integrate people, places and the processes actually to improve the quality of life of people in the built environment and to increase the organization as a whole. So facility management is very much connected to the people, to the employees, to the teams, to give them a better working environment, to give them a better life. But in the meantime, we want to increase the organization by itself. So actually facility management is some kind of horizontal function in the organization that it's crucial in actually doing the business of your organization. And it's in production plants, it is in office buildings, it's in hospitals, it's in schools. So facility management is actually applicable in all kinds of sectors.
So it's a very complex profession, interconnecting the various.
But it's a very diverse. So very much components are involved. You talk about cleaning, technical maintenance, security, help desk. So if you say complex from a perspective that it's diverse, yes, yeah. It is complex. On the other hand, also facility management is also evolving to from a profession that's scattered with all these different components towards a more integrated profession. And then it's becoming more complex because you need to be a spider in the web as a facility manager. So you need to connect all these different elements in your organization to one strategy and to one plan in the entire organization.
How did you personally get started in the field of facility management?
But I'm trained as an engineer, and I had an additional master in applied science, and I started my career as a project manager in a construction company, and I moved into a local authority as a facility manager 25 years ago, and since 20 years I'm managing director of a company who's providing consulting services and facilities management, and I'm always triggered by how we can, let's say, improve or adapt our working environment to what the people who use this, how we can adapt this more. I'm always very triggered when I'm having dinner or lunch, and especially with my wife or with my family in a restaurant where you're on a dinner table and you're not able to talk to each other because of the noise in the restaurant. And I look around and then I see that the entire interior is made by materials who are not absorbing the sound. And so this gives me always the feeling this is a restaurant. No, this is not a restaurant. This is a place that is built for something to do, but not to have a good conversation. And so the unbalanced situation between what is built and what is the fit out of this room, of this building, towards what I want to as a user. So it's always triggering me and said, no, this is not working. And so facilities managers try really to adapt this built environment towards what organizations need. And the second thing what's triggering me today, Mother Earth actually said some months ago, I want to kick you all off if you don't change behavior. So we really need to rethink how we live and how we create working environments on this planet. And so that's also triggering me. So try to find a way how we can improve the way we use the infrastructure, the facilities we have, actually to achieve the sustainability goals we have.
Because in your view, good facility management might as well help to save the planet.
Yes, because we at IFMA, so the IFMA Foundation now has the status of an NGO for the United Nations. So we're able to contribute to the discussions and especially related to the SDGs. So where we connect the general SDGs and we translate it to where facility managers are involved. So if you look to the CO2 emission that is generated by the buildings, the energy consumption that is generated by the buildings, all of these components, the facility manager is in charge of managing this. So if he is aware of processes, of methodologies to improve this and to contribute to the goals of the Green Deal, then we really are able to support the association to create a better world.
Do you believe the Green Deal is getting along nicely, or we still have a lot of way to go in regards to the implementation of the goals?
Yeah, but the Green Deal is a framework, and in the framework you need to, but at least there is a framework, and at least some targets are defined, and that's important. But you always can wait for legislation to change behavior, but you can also use the target to change your behavior because you believe in the target and in the goal. So I know that a lot of work has to be done to translate the Green Deal into directives on European level, into local legislation, before a certain group of people will apply it. But I think also organizations are moving into new plans, new policies, because they believe that it's needed to do. Another thing is also the ESG rating that it's starting, that is implemented already this year, that the large companies in Europe, they need to have their financial reporting, but they also need their ESG reporting. So it's environmental, social, and governance. So in the future, organizations will be forced to have a rating and to do reporting on how they behave on ESG, and certainly in the E. So facility managers are involved. So it's not only a matter of waiting till the Green Deal is implemented in local legislation before we go for it. Other components are forcing us. The energy crisis today, are we waiting for an additional legislation to reduce energy consumption in office buildings? No, we're forced to do so. So we need to dare to also try to have, and that's also the role of IFMA, to have people engaged and involved in programs besides legislation to try to achieve these goals.
You mentioned the energy crisis. So would you say some of these disruptive factors are the main motivation for things to change?
It's one of the drivers.
Or just a hindrance
No, it's
well-laid
not a hindrance. No, it's actually each crisis creates new opportunities. So, and we as facility managers are very close to energy consumption in the buildings and in the production plants and in the offices and in the schools that we are involved. So So the energy crisis must really be a trigger, an enabler for the facility manager to stand up and say, hey, okay, we're on a burning platform with our profession, but we can help the organization for business continuity or to reduce energy consumption so that we can survive this crisis.
So not waiting for the legislation.
No, certainly not. No.
How would you then say, would it be possible to facilitate a quicker transition to a more efficient facility management climate in countries such as ours? Because there is a wide disparity between Belgium and Croatia, for example.
Yeah, but maybe the opportunity here is even bigger than in Belgium, and maybe you can learn from maybe what other countries did to make bigger steps to achieve the goals, because you can take advantage of the things that we did wrong, for example, and learn from this and really make bigger steps.
Yeah, sometimes a late start is the biggest advantage.
So it's and I think also this is the role that IFMA wants to play, and to be on an international level, cross-border, try to make connections, try to bring people together to exchange their experience and the know-how, to actually to leverage the differences and to try to increase the level of maturity of facility management profession cross-border, at least as my role in EMEA, to increase this in total EMEA region.
So in general, you are optimistic. You're definitely doing your part through IFMA.
Yeah, I'm optimistic in the fact that we need to try to do the work that IFMA wants to do, in saying that we need to connect people, we need to exchange experience, know-how, we need to educate people, and if we're able to do so, yes, I'm optimistic that we can create a better world.
Well, thank you for the optimism. I hope it's contagious, and thank you for bringing these interesting topics to the attention of our conference.
Okay, thank you for inviting me in this podcast, and hope to see you again soon.
Likewise.
Okay, thank you.
Arhibau, sajam kulture građenja i održivog razvoja. Obiđite relevantne izlagače iz graditeljskog sektora te sudjelujte na konferenciji o izazovima oporavka i otpornosti. Arena Zagreb od 5. do 8. listopada. Više informacija na Archibau.hr.